When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
This episode of No Simple Road is brought to you by Shop Tour Bus.
Shop Tour Bus.
Shop Tour Bus.
Yeah.
Our friends over at Shop Tour Bus are donating 50% of the proceeds of their Speedy Arrow hat.
That's right.
To Hurricane Helene victims through the Red Cross this month. So head over to shoptourbus.com, order yourself a Speedy Arrow hat, and 50% of that money will go to help the folks that have been impacted by this horrifying event.
And while you're at it too, wearing that dope hat, you could get yourself, they have 3 new coffee mugs that are really cool.
Oh, those are dope.
Coffee and Shop Tour Bus.
The mug each other, the mug of rain, and the steal your tape mug. And they all have little sayings on them too.
I like that, the mug of rain.
Really cool.
Yes.
Like they mug each other. Yeah, man. And they come in a hand-designed box with, a bunch of extra cool shit on the inside. And
you can get free shipping when you put in the promo code NoSimpleRoad at the checkout, and all that stuff in that cute box is going to come to you for free shipping.
When you put in the promo code NoSimpleRoad?
NoSimpleRoad.
All
and
one word.
Some of you are going to get a real Grateful Dead bootleg in
It's
your
a
order.
miracle.
Yeah. So go over there to shoptourbus.com or follow them on Instagram at shoptourbus. And remember, 50% of the proceeds from the Speedy Arrow hats go to help Hurricane Helene victims this month. So go to shoptourbus.com.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go.
I know the road may seem to go on forever and a lifetime.
And then you push the button, and then it starts recording your voice, and then it goes out all over the whole. Well, that's not even how it works. Then it records your voice, and then I have to do stuff, and it goes out. Why are you shaking your head, Mel? That's what happens.
Mel's just being a mime on this episode.
Yeah.
She's just going to give you
Hey
looks.
now,
And,
No Simple Road Family. This is Aaron.
It's Mel.
and it's Apple.
And we're back for another episode of No Simple Road. And hey, everybody, guess what? Hulaween's about to happen.
What?
Hulaween.
And we are doing this episode in tribute to our Hula fam down there in Florida who made it through the crazy hurricane nightmare.
Wow.
Mostly okay and still happening. And we're stoked to have Lettuce on the show this week. We have Jesus and Adam Deitch hanging out with us.
Welcome.
Yeah,
this week.
We've been wanting to do this for a while with Lettuce, and it finally happened. And this was such an amazing conversation.
Yeah, this is two of, in the world of heavy hitting musicians, I think of Lettuce as like the pros of the pros. Like the groove and the pocket that Lettuce creates is unique to anything else. It's its
they've
own
got their
animal.
own vibe going on. They bring it in a way that nobody else does.
And they're one of those groups too. It's like name that tune. I can name that tune in like 4 notes. Once you hear those, done it, you know right away. They have a sound unlike anybody.
The done it.
Done it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Lettuce.
Lettuce
That's it.
definitely was
Yeah,
Lettuce.
oh, that's
Done
it.
it.
They did the done it. I'll tell you what, too. These two individuals are some heady cats.
Yeah.
I have to say that this conversation was I knew it was going to be great, but I was pleasantly surprised at the quality and depth of conversation with these two. It was,
which you will be hearing momentarily.
Yeah, we're going to do that. Hey, tickets for Hula are still available.
Yeah.
I saw that 4-day GA passes were like 90% sold yesterday.
And there's a few VIP packages left, and I was looking at
the Wolfman and the what package?
Yeah, Mel got it
the
right.
The Wolfman and the Mummy VIP package.
Yeah.
I'm dying to know what the difference is.
I don't know. The Goblin, the Witch, the Dracula, the Zombie, those are all sold out.
Dracula?
Yeah.
Vampire.
Yeah. Vampire.
Yeah. Dracula is
a vampire.
Okay. I got to say, too, we're bummed. We really wanted to go to Hula this year, but we couldn't swing it. And I hope that everybody that does go has a freaking blast in our stead. And you're going to see Lettuce and Dirt Wire and String Cheese Incident with Bob Weir and so many other amazing acts in Spirit Lake and all the cool, weird, funky things.
And there's always the future for us.
This is true.
Hulaween next year.
Yep.
There's, we want to be there. So everybody enjoy while you're there.
So we are going to get you to this conversation with Jesus and Adam from Lettuce here, but we're going to do the business real quick. Follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on the social media platforms. Go to our website,
www.nosimpleroad.com. And when you get there, you're going to take a look at what's going on with No Simple Road. Do we have anything new on as far as like where we're going to be or
nothing?
Yay. But you know what else you can do?
What?
You can totally go sign up on
patreon.com/No Simple Road.
Right. And then you can give us $1, $5 will get you a keychain, and any other kind of bucks will get you super appreciated from the three of us and Darwin.
Yeah, there's all kinds of rewards for every tier, kind of like they do on all the Patreons. We are like them, except we have a bunch of extra content up there, and you can go there right now and sign up for free. So go to patreon.com/No Simple Road, sign up for free, and you can see what's going on over there, and then throw us $1 a month, because No Simple Road does cost $1, everybody, and you got to pay it, or we're going to come to your house.
Pony up.
Send a guy over to tell you to pay $1
with Darwin.
That's right.
He's cranky.
He is cranky. Hey, also, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, that's the one we haven't had in a while.
So I was just talking to Apple and Mel before the show, and I was like, we've been doing this show 7 years, a little more than 7 years. Only 400 and something of you have actually gone to Apple Podcasts and left a review. And if all of you that listen to this episode do that right now, that number will more than triple. So go do that.
We'd be reading. We'd have to do a whole episode reading reviews.
Yeah,
which would be
love
awesome.
to do that, right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. So also you can go to 971-808-1524. That is the No Simple Road Tepid line.
Operators are not standing by.
And this is true. They are not. It's a Google line. You have
There's
3
no
minutes.
pressure.
No, 3 minutes. Say whatever the hell you want. And then we'll play
That could be a little bit of pressure. Like, I only have 3 minutes. What do I say?
Well, but then
you call back.
Then you could call back. We've had John B has done it several times. Like, that wasn't long enough. Got to do several. I think we got 3 from him in a row.
And we have 2 new calls from Dave in California, but you have to listen to the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind coming on Monday to hear those calls from the Tepid line, Dave from California. So if you want to get played on that episode, hey, call 971-808-1524. Also,
tell us what's going on with you. We want to know.
But also tell somebody you love about No Simple Road, man.
Yeah.
Please.
Or tell somebody that loves Lettuce about this specific show.
Or tell somebody that loves this show about Lettuce.
Yeah,
that. Also, hey, man, if you're in the Portland area and you want to come to No Simple Road headquarters and do a guided breathwork session on November the 2nd at 4:00, hit me up at info@nosimpleroad.com. We got about, maybe 10 spaces left. And I'll give you all the info, give you the deets. If you have my phone number, you can hit me up there too. You're allowed to text me. And come do a nice guided breathwork session.
Come one, come all. Only 10 of you.
That's right. 10 more. All right. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Me too.
We're going to say Jesus and Adam.
Okay.
Okay. All right, ready? Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Jesus and Adam
from Lettuce. Well, hey, I got to start this off, you guys, by just saying a huge, huge thank you from our house to you guys. Lettuce has been the soundtrack to many, many a good night here at our pad. And thank you so much for what you guys do, man.
That means a lot to us. That just is like the dream of any musician is to have it bless people when you're not even there. That's just awesome. Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah.
It means a lot. I just got to throw out there real quick I love everything you guys do, but Crush coming out in 2015 was a tough point in my life, getting ready to move out of Las Vegas up here to Portland, Oregon.
Yeah,
that was the soundtrack to my life. Like that year, I had it on CD in my car. I don't think I ever ejected it from my CD player until we got moved up here and I was ready to listen to more stuff. But man, you guys just always, like Aaron said, been a huge part of the soundtrack to our life, including last night, his wife's birthday party.
Nice.
It was about 6-7 hours straight of Lettuce on with our friends out front, just loving the evening and getting down, man.
That's awesome. It was my brother's birthday party last night here too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Same birthday.
You know, it's people that are born on that day happen to be really cool people.
Yeah.
So, guys, you know, you've been doing the thing for a really long time, and you've done countless fucking interviews, and I don't want to go rehash all the shit that everybody always asks you guys when you do an interview. So Adam, let me ask you this. Over the course of the lifespan of Lettuce and doing all the interviews that you've done, what haven't you talked about that you've always wanted people to know about?
That's an excellent question. Great question. That's a great first question. That's a first, actually.
Well, good. Fuck, man.
I mean, there's so many things, man. I mean, one, we just love talking about the appreciation of being able to do this for so long. I mean, we really enjoy doing it, and we feel like a brand new band because we're on fire right now, and all the shows are feeling better and better and better. And so that, we like talking about the writing process and how we come up with stuff at sound check, and we all send each other ideas and stuff like that. I don't know, man. What do you think, Jeezy?
That's a really tough one because it's like a blank desert in my mind of all the things.
Well, let's go back. Go ahead.
What I always enjoy talking about is just we love each other so much, and there's something crazy about the way we play music together. Like when the last show we just played, whatever that was, a week ago or something, it's always felt so similar to the very first time we ever played. It's the exact same energy, which I think is just spectacular, that somehow that energy is alive when we play music together. It never fails. Even if we're both feeling bad and we don't feel physically good or something, 10 or 15 minutes in, it's always going to do some magic powerful energy stuff that after the show we feel amazing, and it's like healing everyone in us. And we're just thankful that we found each other to play with, and that we continued it for so long, and that we do feel very honored to be on that stage. There's millions and millions of people that would like to be on that stage, and we're just blessed that everybody still listens to us and people show up to the shows and get that vibe going with us, and it heals us and it heals them at the same time. So it's something bigger than us, and I think we enjoy talking about that. It's just way bigger than the individuals.
So
Yep.
what do you think that is? What do you think that thing is that is created when you guys get together that's healing?
Well, frequencies, mix a blend of frequencies and rhythms and vibrations and light.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, through those frequencies is our spirit and our experiences and what we're doing with our lives. And we have managed to get to the point where we can put all those frequencies into the music and put all those experiences into the music, and it always feels fresh and new.
So, I mean, we are vibrational beings, right? We are alive because of frequency and vibration. And in my mind, a musician practices so that they can get out of their own way at some point. Would you say that's correct?
I mean, yeah. If your hands are feeling good, and you're able to express freely,
mm-hmm.
and not have like a coordination thing get in the way of a musical idea. So yeah, that definitely is a part of it.
Right.
It's also your ego. It's like there's so many parts of the self, so like when you say get yourself out of the way, sometimes I feel like the true self really needs to be leading and guiding, but that ego kind of distractionary mind that is always trying to take our distract us from what's really the most important thing. If that can be out of the way, that's great. I think Michael Jackson said you got to get the ego out of the way to let God in the room, when you're creating. But yeah, I also know musicians that don't ever practice and get up there and sound incredible and play for the heart, and I don't understand that at all, because we've been taught to practice constantly, and you need to practice. I always practice a lot, and Deitch, we all practice our instruments a lot, but I know cats that don't and sound amazing and express themselves. So.
Yeah, that's not fair.
It's not fair at all.
That's magic.
No.
Well, it's true though.
I love that you guys bring up the frequencies, because that was a topic we were on last night here, talking about frequencies. One of our friends does like sound bath stuff and everything, and we see that like frequency is healing. Like you just said, like in your music, you create these frequencies, and we all know there's nothing like going to a live show. If you're feeling crappy or depressed or something, you get out to live music with the congregation watching that shit. It's medicine. It's magic.
That's why I was
medicine.
saying, the other day that we were in New Orleans and the Saints lost, but we all watched the Saints game and everybody went home from the bar instead of watching the band. And I was like, no, this is when we need the band the most. The band's gonna lift us up out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely something special when a band takes the stage and the crowd is ready and that thing starts to happen. You are taken outside of yourself. And one of the questions that I've asked a lot of other musicians is, in the crowd, we were able to forget our lives for a little while. We're there to celebrate with you guys and be engaged in the thing and let go. And if it's a good show, it goes by really fast. And then you're like, what the fuck happened? And it's over. Is it like that for you guys on stage too?
Yeah. The good shows feel like 5 minutes. We feel like we just got on stage and the show's over, and we're like, me and Jesus are usually the last people to leave the stage because we really don't want to leave the stage.
I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah. That's true. Very true.
Like the other day,
feels like we just started sometimes.
Like the other day we had a set break and Jesus he had some musical ideas. He wanted to play solo bass during the set break, and it was awesome. And like, he just wanted, usually we just like, everyone takes a break and we play house music or music that we like, for the crowd while the break. But Jesus was like, I'm not ready to stop, and,
Oh yeah.
So he played for like 25 minutes solo bass, like it was incredible.
You should
I could have
record
thought
that
that
shit.
through a little more. But yeah.
No, man. No, you were freestyling. You were in the zone, bro. Like, dude, I
I
love
just
that.
didn't want to. It sounded like such a hassle to leave the stage and go backstage and then come back to the stage and put my bass back on. It just sounded like a hassle, and I didn't feel like doing it at all. And I always heard that Phil doesn't leave. The great Phil from the Dead never used to leave the stage in between encore, in the last song and encore. So
Really?
that's kind of like a bass. Yeah. Oh yeah. Never. He
Phil
never
doesn't do
left
the walk
stage.
off. That's cool.
Nah. And I figured since I play bass and he plays bass, I could get away with it maybe.
Yeah, I think you can get away with it, man. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I was gonna say, if I was in the crowd at that show, that would be an amazing set break. Like,
Right?
set breaks always, it's always kind of weird. Everybody's just mealing around, and that
sometimes really, you can't even form words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really just needed to practice a little bit. I got back with the guys. Sometimes with Lettuce, we'll play 2 weeks and we'll be 2 weeks off and then 2 weeks on. So it's kind of like we're always restarting. The first couple of shows, just like warming up. So I honestly needed to warm up my fingers a little bit more.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. You mentioned like being grateful for the longevity of the band and the first time you guys played together. Do you remember the first show?
I remember the first jam, the first practice, the first time we ever sat there, bass and drums and played, for sure.
How did that come together?
We were watching Little John Roberts, a great drummer, at Berkeley. We had both just gotten to Berkeley, the 5-week summer program for kids, and we met in this room because we heard John playing drums in there, and it said jam session open, so we went in there and watched. Didn't know each other, and we're both mesmerized by this incredible music. Chris Laughlin was on bass, and John Roberts was on drums. And those guys are just both so loving and so giving of their incredible talent. Like, they're so blessed and so gifted with the musical abilities, and their pocket and feel is so great, but they also just will give it to any kids. Like, kids come in and they'll just play for hours and teach. They'll play with them. I just went to Berkeley, and the same exact thing that was happening when I met Adam long while over 10 years ago was happening right then. Little John Roberts was sitting in a room in like the same area of the school and just letting all these kids come in there and jam with him and playing from the heart, really playing, not just like phoning it in, but really playing. And he was sitting there just letting any brand new student that was there play with Little John Roberts, the legend. So we were blessed by him the same way he's still blessing a bunch of other people. And so, I don't know, Deitch and I didn't know each other, but after John got up, Adam went and talked to him and played a little. I heard Adam play, and I'm like, oh, he's got pocket. So we found each other.
My audition. My audition for Jesus.
You know what? We got a surprise. Hold on a second.
We all ended up in a ensemble room at Berkeley, and we played for like 5 hours straight.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Really? So did you guys this is Mel, by the way.
Hi. Hey, I didn't want to miss this. I was like speeding home to Lettuce, trying to get to Lettuce.
Did you guys after that first jam? Obviously, you were at Berkeley, so you jammed with other people before. Did you know that you guys had something special?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there were students at the school just showing up to hang and listen to us play. So we're still friends with those guys, and they were at the first jams in the school, and we felt like we had a little audience already, just playing, and that was cool.
Definitely, because that jam room we went into was part of the dorm in 270 Commonwealth, and it was the basement. And it was supposed to be everybody gets an hour, but we couldn't stop, we still can't stop. So we played for 4 hours, and there was a bunch of people. I think they wanted to use the room also, but when they went down there and heard it, they were like, "Oh, let's just listen." Hopefully, we'll have to ask them. But we definitely hogged the jam room really hard for a while.
We put up a sign the jam room's not available for other
people. It just said, "This is ours now."
We'll be done sometime.
Ours, yeah.
We led us to that too. We let us have the jam room for the rest of the night. We could have. It got crazy. I remember us putting a towel up on the window. There's a little window on the door, and it was so crazy. After a while, people were just crowded around it that we put up a towel.
Just blocked him out.
Can't have you looking, man. Don't be looking. You got to pay for that
so.
shit.
I think so.
It is.
Yeah, we always knew we had something special. You know, honestly, I'm standing here. I can see my brother standing right there, and he and I played bass and drums since I was like 2 years old. And the way that magical connection is between brothers is bass and where the kick, and I've always noticed where the kick and the bass land together is always just magical and crazy. So I've been fortunate and blessed to have always played with this amazing connection with my brother. And I remember when I played with Deitch for the first time, I thought, wow, this is really similar. Like we have a magical connection, you know? So something about the way the kick and the bass land just together, you know, is something that I always feel.
I think that as fans, we can feel it too. That's not a unique to you guys thing, man. That's like, for me, when I listen to Lettuce, that pocket is the root of the thing, and everything else is kind of built around that. Do you feel like, as the rhythm section in the band, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, what's your function as the rhythm of the band?
Yeah, I was just thinking, the way everyone is a rhythm first player. A lot of musicians are, concentrating on harmony and melody and scales and licks. And we were always like very in tune to the rhythm. And when we did our first gig after the pandemic, we did a little show at Cervantes in Denver. And from in the first 8 bars, I'm not a big crier, but the way the rhythms hit together, it reminded me of like the early days, like when we first started, and I started bawling on stage. Like it was just, it was pretty incredible. And it's a rhythm thing first, and then the notes come in.
Okay.
Wow.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Jesus, I think you're muted.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Go for it.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Polite, I think that it's something you asked us, something we never talked about that we always want to talk about. I thought of that just now, is that we kind of made a band where bass and drums are the lead, with it kind of subtly, but we always wanted to, focus on bass and drums. That's kind of why we didn't have a singer at first. For a really, really long time, we had no vocals. And we heard the old like Kool and the Gang records where it's just bass, drums, guitar, clav, and horns, and it's ultra funk. And back to another thing my brother says is that if you're not adding to the funk, you're not adding to the groove, you're probably taking away from it. So hearing those old like records without a ton of extra lead guy and spotlight on this and the band, the bass, as a professional bass player, you always, you're there to serve, and you're there to, like, say you're coming in, somebody hires you to play bass on this show or this gig or this record. You're there to support somebody for the most part. So I think when we went to do our own thing, we're like, maybe we can be the highlight. Maybe we can really highlight bass and drums and have everything, accent that and highlight that. So I think you hit it right on the head when you said it does feel like that's the lead. And Deitch is speaking to us in a mic every once in a while, saying, go to the bridge now, because a lot of times funk is like 89 bars of this section. And so you're not counting bars till you get to 89 and go to the bridge. You're just kind of all feeling it together. And so it makes it really easy. I can zone out so hard and just be playing my 2-bar bass line in like another realm entirely. And he'll go, bridge. And I go, okay, whoa. And then here we go. So
okay, wait a minute.
Deitch and I are definitely driving a lot of things, but over all the years, it's become mutual. We're all kind of pushing and pulling. And like Deitch said, everybody's really rhythmic. The horns are so rhythmic, and we all feel different things. And so we'll all kind of lead a little bit. But the bass and drums are definitely forefront.
Yeah. Wow. You said 89 bars of this or that, and you're able to zone out. Adam, are you this may be a stupid question, but whatever. Are you counting that whole time?
That's what I was wondering. Are you counting it?
Or are you calling the bridge by feel?
It.
I still don't know what to be for Halloween. I know what you should be for Halloween.
What?
Feeling good. That's what you should do.
A feeling good?
You know how you can do that?
How?
Go to Melt Premium Mushroom Chocolates at Melt Mushrooms on Instagram. They have 10 different flavors of mushroom chocolate bars ready to be sashayed to your very, very little mitts.
So what? You just like DM them and then they'll send you a menu and let them know that No Simple Road sent you, and then they'll what?
Yeah. So you do all the stuff that you just said, and then you tell them what you want, and they're going to send it to you, and you're going to get a free goodie bag for the month of October.
Yeah, the tough part is picking out what you want from this menu. 10 flavors of chocolates in the minis and the full-size bars, 3 flavors of gummies, and then they also have capsules in micro and macro.
Yeah,
so yeah.
There's 4 grams of the sacred mushrooms in every bar. And in the minis, it's the same deal, just a little bit less. And hey, if you're having like an adult Halloween party, you can get a bunch of minis and just like put them on the table and really, have a great time. So go follow at Melt Mushrooms on Instagram and order yourself up some candy goodness for Halloween or after Christmas or Thanksgiving, New Year's, whatever. You get the idea.
And if you do that party, invite us.
Yeah, it's bridge by feel, ending by feel. It's all by feel. Sometimes it's 184 bars,
Yeah.
So, and I know that everyone's like, especially Jesus, is so in touch with every rhythm and every note he's playing, and he's just zoned in beyond belief, like more than anyone I've ever met.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my job to be like, hey, homie, like, we might want to go to the other section soon.
You might want to get out of
You
here.
might want to share.
And then I have to go, what song are we playing?
Where are
There's
we?
a bridge, but of what? A bridge of what? What key? Okay.
Well, that actually brings me to a question I had about vibe. You put out the album, one song. It's what, 47 minutes
around
or something
47
like
minutes.
That? Yeah. So when you go to do that, was that the plan?
Yeah.
Mr. Vibe.
Yeah, that was we're like, we're gonna lay down something for however long it goes, and that's that.
Yeah, we experimented. We've never had like a free form, I guess, call it a jam, in a recording studio. Usually recording studios are like, we have to record these songs and we're gonna do 2 or 3 versions of each, and but this was more like, hey, we have a few hours left and we already recorded 20 songs. Let's just go in and see what happens, and 45, and no one knew we were making a record. Like, a trumpet player was going outside and making phone calls for his wine company, and it was pretty funny. So like, no one knew it was like a thing, that was gonna be a thing. And then we ended up listening to it and we're like, wow, that was magic.
Yeah.
And we could really
all
hear
improvisation.
each other.
Every
All
note
improv.
of that's improv. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an amazing journey.
Wow. Okay, wait a minute. So there was no like pre-planned head or
Zero.
nothing. Zero.
Wow, that must feel liberating to be able to like get that out and then have a piece that's good enough to put out like that. Because I'm sure usually it's within yourselves that you're just jamming that well and it's fine, whatever, but recording it and having that evidence, like, yeah, no, it was good enough to put out as a single, as an album.
Yeah.
It's really our strong suit. Improvisation has always been our strong suit. When we first played, the first gig we ever played, I think we had one song that we knew together and we played like 3 or 4 hours. So
Wow.
I think oftentimes we underestimate ourselves in that particular, I'm always saying, let's go out and play the whole show and just make it up. And, nobody wants to do that with me, but
The only person
we
I
should
know,
definitely have a vibe series of shows where we just do that and the crowd knows they're coming to see that.
I would fucking, I would go to that in a heartbeat.
That's what you should, vibe series. That's
There it
your
is.
tour. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, you just have to advertise it, let people know what's happening,
All right, we'll start now.
We'll start now. Everybody go see the Vibe series by Lettuce. It's good. No, the only person I know that's ever like done that I can think of is Reed Mathis with like Jacob Fred Jazz Odyssey. They would just get up and go do the thing.
Miles Davis used to do it too.
Yeah.
And if you go to I don't know if people know this, but when you're at a regular Lettuce show, there's about 75% of improv.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's a lot. And it just sounds, to me, I don't know if this, I'm not trying to brag with this statement, but for the band, I guess I can brag for the band. But a lot of times it sounds so tight. It sounds very rehearsed. And I'm thinking, I don't think the audience knows we're literally making this up right now. Because the horn section is writing a beautiful orchestrated horn line. I'm making up a bass line I've never played before. Shmeens is making up guitar parts he's never played. Nigel's doing the same. And we're playing a lot of the time during the show. There's, I try to just get through the melody and then we're going off to the races, so I just thought I'd mention that a lot of our show now is improvisational.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's part of what keeps us going back to see you guys is that because anything can happen in those moments, man. It's not, I'm not going to see you play your album, perfectly.
Yeah.
I want to see you guys. I want to hear your heart. I want to know what's going on.
Or your mood for the day.
Yeah. Does that come into 100%. It too? Like
100%.
Shitty day traveling, getting there plays into 100%. What you're going to. Oh, okay. All right.
I was going to talk about that when you were saying, earlier you were saying you go to this show and you get to let go of the worldly problems in your job and whatever's going on, and you're just out of that for a moment. And I always tell myself and the guys, is like, it's important for us to not be thinking about stressing out. If we're stressing out up there playing and sending you that's not good, but I kind of think maybe the music transmutes all those vibes. You could get up there with like feeling okay or a bad travel day, and pretty quickly the music is changing you into joy, and you're sending joy through the messages. But yeah, it's important for us to feel physically good and feel as good as we can, and be, in a positive mind state too. Stressing out it can come through the vibration too. So, I'm preaching to myself when I say, having a good attitude is really important, and being positive up there and believing in the band and believing in your friends up there playing with you. And yeah, that has a lot to do with how the music comes out, I think,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, does it ever trip y'all out, like that you're administering music to them, but also to yourselves too? Like you're playing clearly because you love it. That's the first reason. And then second, it's your job. But then third, there's a third thing that happens there where you really are bringing music to people as a medicine. And that happens whether you mean to or not, whether you're intentional or not. People just can pick that up, and it doesn't stop with them. It goes on to you. You ever think about that? I mean, clearly not on stage, but like, when you're reflecting.
It's on stage too. Life is filled with all kinds of things, and and then when you get on stage, it's just like time stands still or moves really fast, and it's just a beautiful thing that we could kind of conjure up those emotions for ourselves, as well as the people, the fans that are in the building, and also Jesus is like an ocean of bass lines that I've never heard. He has just unlimited amounts of creative ideas or new bass lines that he wants to try out in different songs or whatever, and that sure helps and gets us into a zone where we could improvise, and when we're doing that, everything feels great, and we're just stoked on it.
And I that's probably the thing that keeps you doing this. I mean, I would imagine like playing music ain't easy, man. You guys are going from fucking town to town. You're sleeping on buses, and like you're doing all of this to have 2 hours on stage, and then you got to break everything down and traveling again. You're away from home. It's tough. And so the payoff better be fucking good on the other side of that to make it worth it. And I think, aside from money, that's the thing.
It's always worth it. It's always worth it.
But
Always.
Jesus, you were pointing up. Are you in like insinuating that's where it's coming from? Like what your infinite bass lines and that kind of flow?
Unless it's a flat earth, then I'll be pointing like
right, we can all be wrong, right?
I don't claim to know anything.
Then if it is flat, then you hit the ice wall. Yeah, so.
I would say this, though, about the last subject we were talking about. I seen Deitch, having a sick day. We all get colds or whatever, him feeling pretty bad. And like in his bunk 5 minutes before the gig, and he's got to go on stage. And then after the gig, he looks like very healthy, like stoked and like feeling great. So
Wow.
I think I've had that happen to me quite a few times too, where like I just literally feel stronger physically after the show. So to answer your question, do you ever think about that? It's definitely healing us. Like the bass is vibrating my whole body way before it gets to you guys. So yes, it's definitely healing us and healing y'all, and I'm so grateful for it. I don't understand it all the way. I don't understand it at all, but I think it's cool, and I like getting cool. into it. Yeah, that's another thing. I think you don't have to understand everyone all the way or at all to be respectful and to enjoy each other's company. You don't really have to understand or overstand or whatever. You don't have to like know everything about someone's culture to be respectful of them and their culture.
That's
you have to know anything about.
It's great.
Culture.
It's a good.
Yeah, you just be cool, man.
Be cool,
don't be a dick.
The golden rule.
100%.
That's our one rule
is the
around
only
here,
way.
man.
Kindness is the only way we can survive.
Yeah,
I've heard
man.
Flea say that, and it's true. The human beings being kind and gracious to each other and respectful is the only way we'll survive.
Wow,
Yeah.
who would have thunk? Flea, thank you for those words.
Well, and I'll say this, right now we could use that more than ever. And I think that, the weirder things get with the world, the more important the role that you guys play is, because no matter what, music is an equalizer. When we're standing in the crowd at a concert, we are all the same. We're concert goers enjoying our favorite band. That's it. There's no other bullshit going on. And I also feel like that healing and the magic that we're talking about is stronger right now because of all the bullshit that's going on in the world. I think that thing needs to come through even more and uses you guys as a conduit to bring that thing through. Do you see a reflection of that in the crowds at your shows lately?
Definitely. An example would be like our homie Coach was coming to all our shows. Rest in peace, Coach. Passed away from cancer a few months ago.
Oh man.
And he was at all of our shows, and with his girlfriend. And she ended up coming to our shows after he passed to like be around the family of fans that we have. Because we always hear how cool our fan base is. When like a new person comes, they're like, wow, your fans are awesome. Like, and that makes us feel really good knowing that we've attracted people that are cool people and treat people kindly and respectfully and have a great time. And so, she thanked me for helping her get through losing her boyfriend and that's one of hundreds of situations like that where people have lost a family member, lost a friend, lost a girlfriend, lost a wife or whatever, and they go to the show to like feel that community. And we're all about that.
Totally.
I'll tell you that I can be feeling awful. On a day of a show, like, oh, I don't feel like going, I'm tired, it's been an awful week or something happened or whatever. Inevitably, when you get there and you let that thing hit you, all that shit goes away and you're brought into the flow of that thing.
Yeah, it's like the shower of the music that just washes down, and it allows everything to be minimal. Yeah. And the music is ever present and in the forefront. And that is, it's one of my favorite things, sound therapy, music therapy, because it's one of the things that you can think about that will put a smile on your face later on. You take a pill, you're not thinking about no damn pill 10 hours later. You're not thinking about that. But if you get the medicine of music, you can put on that song, recall that night, re-feel the way you felt that night.
Oh yeah.
And then double down because you're listening to it now. It's making you feel good again. You know, I mean, I really applaud musicians, and I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, because I love to be funked to death. But you guys know what I mean, both ways. Girl. You know, it's the truth. And when you forget who you are, you forget how you're spinning, you forget who you came with, and you open your eyes and you're sweaty and smiley, and that headache's freaking gone. Mm-hmm. My foot doesn't hurt no more. My back is, who cares? Like, it's just a really great feeling, and I really,
it's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, man.
And then, like, after the show, some friend of yours will come up to you and remind you of the reason you weren't gonna go, and be like, "Aren't you sure you didn't need to fix the garbage disposal?" Thanks, bro. Like, thank you. No, I'm so glad I'm here with all my friends.
Yes, thank you to the friends.
Really, when you're at a Grateful Dead show, or like, I mean, that's just the best example for me, because I've been to a couple of those, and you feel like 100,000 or 70,000 people, like, with that. They're all melded into one. And like a lot of people on tour, that was all their friends. So they would go to the show to meet up with their friends again. And then that becomes a family. And I think that as we're sitting here talking about it, like, the more close that audience is, with the more friends and more bubbling going on in there, the music gets better because of that. And I think it's the same way with us as friends on stage. The six of us are very, very tight, and we close friends. We talk all the time about our lives, and I think it's the same in the crowd. Everyone's there to see each other. Hey, I haven't seen you in a year. What happened with that situation you told me about? We got deep last show. And that, I think that really goes into making the whole thing just more unified, and the music becomes really powerful, but just the connections, because everyone's connecting so greatly.
We're definitely, humans are communal beings.
Yes.
And music began in small villages for the families that lived in the village, and they would have a musical gathering, a couple times a week or maybe every night. And that's what, I think a lot of musicians are concerned with being good on their instrument, which is cool, but they're forgetting about the communal aspect of it, and what you feel when you're at a Stevie Wonder show, or at an Earth, Wind & Fire show, or a Grateful Dead show, or this show, like, you feel this communal thing. And I feel like musicians should get hip to that, like, that aren't in the scene that we're in, and understand what you're doing beyond just being good on your instrument, and people going, wow, they're good, and I like that song. It's like you're creating a community, and it's a wider thing than just, playing your instrument.
Oh yeah,
well said.
How do you so that you're creating this community, like, how do you play to that, or how does that when you're playing, what kind of responsibility, or what's your thoughts as you're playing, with that in the back of your head?
I mean, you go out there and meet them, and then you're friends, then you are part of the community. You can't stay backstage. You got to go out and talk to the people, see who those people are. And then you're like, instead of just thinking like, oh, it's a bunch of fans, it's like, well, that's Mike, that's John, there's Alicia, there's Big X,
That's what you just said, Jesus, was really, like, impressed on me. I've known what you're talking about, like, intellectually know what you're talking about, but I saw it firsthand recently. We went to 2 Goose shows up here, one here in Portland and one in Eugene. And the first show we went to, the crowd that was at the show wasn't engaged. Sound wasn't right. Everybody was just hanging out, talking to each other. And I equate it to an airplane trying to take off that doesn't have enough speed. Like, the jam would get going and it would go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like stunned watching it happen, and feeling kind of bad for the guys in the band. Like, they're giving it their all, and this crowd is just like not engaged. Then day and a half later, we went and saw them in Eugene, which to me is the headiest place on the earth. From the minute they took the stage, the crowd was locked in. That shit took off and didn't land until the end of the encore. You know what I mean? So it really showed. I felt like I saw 2 different bands, and it wasn't the band doing it. It was the crowd that caused the thing. You know what I'm saying? So that community is fucking real, and that connection between the band and the crowd is a real component, especially in improvisational music and the kind of music in the scene that we're in. It's huge.
Yeah.
When I say, especially when you guys both touched on it, one thing that you all have that a lot of bands don't, and it's very obvious, is the friendship, the brotherhood you all have. Because we had one of my favorite shows I've seen of yours was up here in Portland. It was March 30th, 2019. It was Benny's birthday. And you guys celebrate, you guys sang birthday, and then he got up there and just went crazy on his horn. And that night at Roseland Theater, we've been there a lot. I've never heard a rhythm section shake that place so hard.
That place almost came apart.
And it was it was like everybody, 100% of the people in that crowd, where everybody was so sweaty and just dancing their ass off in that dank club. But that's one of my favorite shows I've ever seen of yours. I've loved them all, but that one, it was like the brotherhood was palpable. We were celebrating Benny and everything.
I felt like we got to be at his birthday party with you guys.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
That's why we're releasing, Let Us Live, and putting out our shows, because now we're listening to the shows after the show.
Oh, wow.
On the bus and hanging out and just like enjoying the concert, while we're traveling to the next city. Because that's what we usually do. We have like 2 hours after the show, and then we just get back on the bus and go. So, the whole idea is to, keep releasing these shows and allow people to relive those moments. And also for us, like, I listened to Philly from the other day, our first night in Philly, and it was just Brooklyn Bowl in Philly, and I listened to Brooklyn Bowl the last night with Alicia. It was just like, I got
How's that new bass sound? How's my new bass sound?
It sounded really great, man.
Are you sure? I'm serious.
Yeah, no, the bass was
I
crushing.
just got it.
No, it sounded great.
The bass itself was okay. All right.
It just felt like it was a free flow, and we were just going from random things and jams to covers that we've never played and all kinds of stuff. It was just a free flow moment, a flow state moment in Philly for sure. And Jersey too, and the Red Bank Jersey shows.
That's cool that you've come to a point where you can enjoy your own music, because I know that's hard for a lot of musicians without picking it apart.
To hear their voice.
For anything, it's true. The painter to look back at the painting like, oh, I should have added one more flower or whatever. Right? Like one more. But like, to be objective and like listen to this this is an art form. You put it down that night. This doesn't need to be judged. It needs to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
Enjoyed. Yeah. I like that. And remembered, like, if we did something awesome, that Jesus came up with some amazing bass line and there's a crazy horn line that we've never heard. It's like, it's our job to kind of maybe remember that and maybe put that into a song somewhere, So like, I love the idea of like, okay, this is a one-time thing and you're never going to hear this bass line again. There's also the perspective of like, this deserves to be played in the future somewhere.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So that's another reason.
We've always loved our own music, to be honest.
Really?
With you. Like, since we were kids, we used to record it on tapes, and there was only one tape in the cassette, and we would pretty much dive for it and grab whoever would get the tape. We would steal the tape, and someone would have the tape. But yeah, we always listen to our stuff, and it's, I don't know if it's out of wanting to. I mean, probably always just wanting to make it better. We wanted to hear what it sounded like. When we were kids, you just didn't get to record a lot, so you wanted to hear what do we actually sound like, because you don't get. It's kind of like you don't get to look at yourself in the mirror, but you can't really hear it while you're playing it. You hear it a different way while you're playing. You're listening as a musician, and then when you're not playing, you get to listen as like it's just awesome. So we've always just wanted to hear what it sounded like. Most likely just, try to see how we can make it better as well. But like you said, it's not there to be judged, but then sometimes that is what we're doing. We're kind of Kobe Bryant after the game, watching what happened here. How'd the guy get the ball from me? I'm never letting that happen.
Yeah, that's like two separate things. When you're trying to learn something about yourself, your performance, the band, maybe the venue, whatever, that's a whole different, way of looking at it. And I think that's good for all of us to be reflective on what we're putting out to the world, But, when you can't enjoy something that you literally killed kicked ass in. That's not fair.
No,
that's not fair. That's not fair to all your years of music, all of your, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, we do beat ourselves up a lot inside our head. But
well, yeah, that's a human condition.
That's called being a human being alive on planet Earth.
Yeah. And a lot of bands like us included, sometimes you have a skewed vision when you get off stage. Oh, that show was terrible, or that show was great, and then you listen to the recording, and the terrible show was great, and the show you thought was great was too fast, or So it's important to like keep it cool after the show, and not really judge yourselves, and just after a few hours maybe put in the recording and see what happened, so you're not like going off the hating a show because you missed one note or something, listen to the recording tells all. It's a mirror.
And it's only our one perspective. When we're listening it back, that show that you say might not have been good or was too fast, maybe there was a couple people in the audience that needed it just like that, and they were so stoked because it was fast.
Right.
And it's for them, man.
It's not. It's
a great point.
I'm curious too, Jesus. You brought up that you got a new bass. So when you're listening back, were you serious? Are you not sure that it sounds good at first? So are you like listening more intently to the recordings now? Like
you just could play a toy bass and it would still sound good.
That's why I was asking that. Do I still sound good?
No, it's just I'll shout out to Fender and Steven Taylor over at Fender. They hook us up and bless us really good. But I've been on their stuff for a while, and I got this new pickup with it's got this gold foil pickup. So it's just one pickup. It's just really different than anything else I've ever played, and I was just wondering what it sounded like.
Okay. So
sounds like you, bro.
Cool. It's not all tinny, and because it's made out of gold, so I thought it might be really bright, but I guess it's not. It sounds cool.
We'll have to listen to the new recordings and see.
Which one? This was the Philly show, or this was the
the last 5 or
Brooklyn
6 shows.
Okay.
Yeah, the East Coast run was
okay.
All right.
Yeah, serious power run.
So you guys have been at it for 32 years. Is that right?
Oh no, we just started this year.
We just started.
Okay, cool.
Dang, good job, gentlemen.
You guys are fucking killing it, man. Yeah.
Nothing more to say.
It's great to be a brand new band on the scene. We seem to be getting big quick.
Yeah. I think you guys are going to do good.
I do too. Keep it up. You're
promising career ahead of you.
Well, and I hear you.
We like being thought of. Yeah.
And well, you're just starting out.
Plugged Live in Tokyo. We just dropped one of our first live album ever is Live in Tokyo, and we just put it on vinyl. So everybody check that out. Really
Did we talk about Hula yet?
Yeah.
No, we haven't talked about.
No, well,
Hula
that's what
yet.
I was just going to say in jest. It was like, well, this is your first year as a band. You've already been invited to Hula. You're going to be doing jam crews. You got a lot coming up for a brand new band.
We were able to record 13 records in this short year. Yeah,
amazing.
That's pretty fucking amazing, guys.
Dang, putting it out.
But we like the idea of thinking of ourselves as a new band. Every day it's like, we don't, there's so much to conquer, to do, and to
always
create, and so the more we have the mindset of like, we just started and we have all this to do and create and explore, and so it's more of a fun way of looking at it as opposed to like, a lot of the interviews are like, you guys have been together since 1973, and it's like, and it's, we're always like, we prefer to keep the mindset of like a new group,
that's beautiful.
That's a healthy outlook.
It's a good place to be.
I listen to so much music. Like I've heard so much music since I saw you that I feel like a brand. I have so much new shit to express. Like we have a lot of drum and bass to play, dubstep. We're doing these shows with STS9 in a week in Chicago.
Oh, cool.
So we're gonna get a little out and experimental on those jams, that's for sure. You know what I mean? So every time we play, we've got some new inspiration or something new to express and a new way to look at. I kind of feel like I'm playing bass for the first time every time I'm playing it, So yeah, I feel like we're all thinking that way.
When you guys go to Hula, are you doing do you have anything planned specifically for Hula? Like Halloween specific kind of thing, or no?
We've done that before in the past, and like, put in like spooky songs and wore crazy out, costumes. And these days it's like, let's just go there and be calm. Hulaween's,
Ooh.
it's a lot of energy. There's a lot of people there for DJs and electronic acts, and which is awesome because we're there for that also. And
Yeah.
me and Jesus like to roll around and check out everybody. But mainly it's learning to be calm in the moment.
Whoa.
When you have a bunch of new fans or new people out there that don't really know Lettuce that well. And
Yeah, true.
they're, so yeah, we just like to go out there and express and bring people in and not freak out, just kind of keep it cool. And the last couple hulas were like, yeah, like, wow, we stayed calm. We didn't try to put it on this pedestal that
That's
we
right.
should play our ultimate best. It's like, yeah, just go up there and just be us, So I think
Wow.
that's the focus for any big show like Hula,
I feel like you're really giving some life
Life
drop
shit,
lessons.
yeah.
Because I think that we all tendency like, I'm going to go out there and give this my best instead of like really focusing on being present with yourself. Then that's always going to be the best outcome because you're chill and you're calm and you're not trying to be like cool or act like something rad. And I just came, the reason why I was late was I had an event today. And, you just get regular nerves. Your stomach gets nervous, whatever, even if you don't maintain that. But I had something in my head like that was like, just be yourself today for whatever reason. And it totally chilled me out. And so thanks for reiterating that unknowingly. I think that it's just.
Hulaween's kind of like the championship, like it's like if this is a game or something, it's like it's the finals,
Oh, wow.
So, but the object is not to, you ask any athlete that's in a game 7 or in the finals, like they're not tripping on the game 7 part. They're just trying to play well and play together. And
yeah,
Back to
we used to
basics.
do that with Red Rocks. We would get to Red Rocks and be so excited, and we'd want to make it so crazy and just be nervous. And then the last couple of times we played it, we were actually chill, and it felt so great, because we just didn't overthink it. Basically, I play golf too, and you really can't hit the ball while you're thinking at all, so like you're talking about healing meditation of sound. Like, if anyone's ever done a gong healing,
That's what I was just doing, Jesus. Literally. I literally just have my gong in my back seat. And that was the last thing how I closed it. And everybody, people leave early from events that you're talking at. That's just a thing. People don't want to listen for 2 hours to people talk usually. Well, I closed it with the gong. Every single person shut the fuck up after that and just enjoyed the silence. Just enjoyed it. So yes, the gong I'm very familiar with. I play it often, and it's
we need
incredible.
some gong in the house this evening.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Bust it out, baby.
Yeah, there was a yoga class I did that used to finish with the gong every time, and like yogi teacher was pretty spiritual and just kind of like out there nebulous, and he would say you can't really have a thought during this gong, and I would like try to think, and then after like 30 seconds, it's just wiped away by this blissful joy. And I love gong therapy. That's so cool.
Yeah.
The mind is amazing how you can just pick up on that. And like, we really have a lot more extra. I know that O'Teal would appreciate me bringing up extra sensory perception, but like, we definitely have more than 5 senses, and we can, like you feel when someone, like you feel you're like, oh, I should call Adam. I should call Deitch. I'll be like, I was literally pressing your phone, and granted we're close. We talk a lot, but that'll happen with people I haven't talked to in 2 years. I'll be like, I'm about to feel like texting this person. They're like, I literally just was looking at a picture of you. I'm sure we've all had that happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're feeling
But
it.
our minds are really powerful. And so it's good to try to keep in tune with what's going on around you.
Yeah.
That happened recently to me. I couldn't believe it. I was like thinking about somebody and they called, and it's just wild when that happens. I can't explain
it. What's really weird about it is when you start paying attention to stuff like that and seeing it happen, it starts to happen more often. That's the really trippy part about it. Like, it happens with No Simple Road stuff constantly. Like, yeah, all the time. And when you start looking at it, it's like, oh fuck, it's everywhere. And then you realize that like you were just saying, there's a lot more going on than we're paying attention to. And I know for me, man, like the first place that I ever really realized that like telepathy can be a thing was at a Grateful Dead show, was at a concert. I was like, oh shit, this is real. This is fucking happening. And you would never, who would think that a concert would be the place that you would now start to realize that ESP and shit like that is a real thing.
Other concert goers.
Magic.
Yeah, totally. So
that's part of the magic.
That's
it is.
Yep. So, hey guys, it's been a goal of ours to talk to you for a really long time, and I'm really stoked that we got to sit down with you today, man. Thank you guys again. Seriously, thank you for what you've done for us over the years.
And for yourself
from the heart, man.
Well,
thank you for being there for us.
Yeah, man.
And thank you for kind of spitting some knowledge that doesn't apply to the dance floor. That's really awesome, because I think that musicians can be pretty heady, and something that you think you just say like kind of, no big deal, but it really does, we chew on these things later, like your lyrics, like these riffs. So just thank you for extending that out.
And hey, roll back through Portland, Oregon soon, yo.
Yeah.
Well, they're bringing some love. They're bringing some love. Beginning of November, you're doing a 4-day run up in Seattle. It looked like.
That's right.
Oh, dope. Yeah. Cool. And
4 days in a row at the same spot. Everybody come through.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
And make sure everybody go get tickets for Hula. Go see him in Hula.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see y'all at Hula.
All right.
Yeah, check our YouTube page. We got a bunch of new live stuff. We hadn't been dropping a lot of live, and we're kind of cleaning that up, dropping a bunch on YouTube and a bunch on Nugs. So everybody check our live shows. We should have some couch.
We got a bunch of 7-inch records coming out. We got a new album next year.
Yes.
Tons of new really great videos, like edited videos of us playing, like that we've never really had.
Like pro shot stuff.
Pro shot stuff.
Okay.
Better sound.
Right on.
Yeah, so
keep
we're
it rocking.
And also, something we're both really stoked on, we just got today, is our new album's going to come out with play along. So if you play guitar, you can get the version without guitar, so you can play along. If you play drums, you get the version without drums.
That's so cool.
Wait a minute. Okay, hang on a second before we go. How the fuck? How does that work?
We just thought of it and did it.
No. Like in practice, like so. I play guitar. So how does that work?
How do I sign up?
Yeah,
we might do a YouTube page. It might be, I don't know, not sure how we're gonna release it. A lot of other, I saw some other groups, like they had like, their song from their album, but without the drums or without the guitar. And you could, if you're a person and you're practicing, you could put on our new record with the page with no drums and play drums the whole way through.
You
just
so
go
sick.
to our website and it'll be there. If you'll get the guitar without guitar version, you download it right there, MP3. You go listen to our album, listen to the guitar, learn it, then turn on the one without guitar and play along, see how you sound.
That's dope.
Oh, shit.
And you're making it fun. Right on.
Right on, you guys. Well, much love from this house to y'all.
Yes.
Man. Thanks for hanging out with us, you guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Appreciate you guys.
We'll talk to you soon,
peace
man.
and love to everyone.
Yes,
Later.
peace.
Love, peace.
Aww.
Peace.
Fucking lettuce. Boom.
That, like you said, that was a long time coming. We just never knew how quite to approach it. We knew it would happen when it was meant to be.
I'm glad you made it, Mel.
I sped home for this. I pulled out of my because I had to clean up. We have to clean up afterwards, and then I friggin' left that parking lot at 1:53, and I got here at 2:15.
Holy shit!
Whoa. And you were 55 miles away.
Yeah, I was pretty. I got here.
I know you made us both smile when you came walking, when the door opened. It was like, who dares enter the sanctum of no.
Well, I was like, Aaron asked me yesterday. He's like, "You're going to be here for the interview, right?" And I was like, "No, it's 10 to 2." And I said it, but I didn't mean it. I didn't think about it. We finished at noon, but we had to like clean up and some people had to leave. So it was more work for us to do. And we were talking and finishing up and booking appointments. And
you can't be like, it's noon.
Done.
Peace.
So
deuces.
It just kind of worked out. And when I turned on the car and I looked, I was like, 1:53, I'm going to make it. And I just fucking hauled ass.
I knew that Deitch and Jesus were going to be heady folk. Just because I follow them and whatever. What really like homies, you know what I mean? And
so chill.
So chill.
Chill.
And that what Deitch said about always seeing yourself as just starting out.
That you needed to, all of us needed to hear that.
I needed to hear that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because
totally agree.
It completely changes the game. If 100 people show up to your show, you're stoked because you just started and 100 people showed up to your show. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you made $50, you're stoked because you made $50. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, let's be real. You're not deluding yourself into the poorhouse and not being able to pay your bills. But
I don't think that was what it's about.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, having that perspective cleans up your mind. It's like sweeping the floor. It
takes the weight away.
Yeah.
It's very important as a new band starting out like them.
Yeah.
That, so hopefully they can build up to like those $50 a show.
Well, yeah.
100 people. And, that was what a great conversation. And they're just amazing. They're so humble and everything, which I think also leads
they're a new band.
Look at how long we've been doing this. I was going to say that, but they know it already. Bless the Berklee School of Music.
Yeah.
How many people have we talked to that
Countless.
Went through that was like so influential, and it brought all of them brought them all together, and they start a funk band taking over the music room and everything. That's an amazing story.
Well, yeah. And I mean, Kraz was in Lettuce, and
was it Berklee?
The players that are in that band are some like stone cold killers, heavy hitters. And from doing No Simple Road, like, and doing interviews, one could think that people that are of that caliber of musician would be too heady or too like removed from the fan base. You know what I mean? Like talking I'm not going to name names, but whatever. Those cats are in it. They're right here with us.
They're walking out and meeting Carl and Alicia and Derek or whoever,
And they started at the beginning. That sort of said that we just want to say to everybody that like we are so blessed to be doing this.
Aww.
Yeah,
and like just amazing.
Yeah,
that's. I don't want to make this anything about me, but I feel like just hearing that too. Like I had that event that I'd been talking about, today. That's why I was late, everybody. And having that mentality. I am new, by the way, at this doctor's office. I haven't been there for years and years. I'm only there once a week. So even though I've been there since July, I've only had
You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. 8 times. But what I was going to say is seeing the people there that are willing to support me and learn and want to know more, whether it's about their skin or whether about what I'm talking, and open to new ideas. It's incredible,
So it went well?
It went fantastic.
Stellar.
It was amazing. I sold product, booked treatments, and people didn't leave early.
Well, yeah. Hey, and then you closed it. I love that too. That came into it when he was talking about gong therapy and stuff.
That was crazy. That specific thing. I just want to mention it a minute because my doctor, she has a little aversion to like woo woo stuff.
And she hired you?
Yeah. And I am woo woo.
Yeah, but you also had your feet on the ground.
She had to find the right woo woo.
Well, she came up to me after that and was telling me this. She's like, usually, I have an aversion to things like this, but your analogies, first of all, are amazing, and how you explain these things, it doesn't seem woo woo. And it feels like real information. And I was like, well, it is, because I was initially a skeptic, and that's why I did this, So like to have that gong available, do that, and get every single person that was in that building responded to it. There was not one person
it's hard to not respond to the
that
gong.
Didn't get it or feel it or mention it, or like I was getting, people asking, are you going to start doing classes? We'd love to do that. I was like, absolutely. If there's a need for it and you guys want it, heck yeah.
If you're
absolutely.
asking for a class.
Yeah. So it was just like the gong specifically is, and we're talking about music, but it's sound therapy.
Yeah.
Everybody said I couldn't think about anything after, because I prefaced it. I was like, listen, the gong is like a wave and it comes up onto the sand and it smooths the sand, and it does that to our thoughts. All like, oh, I got to be somewhere by 2. I got to meet my husband for lunch. I got to do the and then next thing you know, you're like, what time is it?
It demands respect and listening. You can't ignore a gong no matter what.
No.
Like,
and on that note, if you're still listening to the show at this point, then you're a fan of No Simple Road. On November the 2nd at 4 p.m. here at our house in Portland, we're doing Breathwave with Joe Izzo. He's going to be leading a breathwork session for all of us. We have space for 20 people.
Wow.
To come
this is
have
incredible.
Have a breathwork session with us. And
I don't know anything about this, everybody.
It's by donation, and you can hit me up on Instagram if you don't have my phone number, and I will give you details, or you can shoot an email to info@nosimpleroad.com and I will answer you there. If you're here in the Portland area and you want to come spend a couple of hours, I think it's a 1 hour breathe and a half an hour, 45 minutes after to kind of decompress and share and hang out. Maybe we'll have some food together.
Will there be music?
Music?
Post?
Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so come hang out. You're all invited. The first 20 of you, that's who gets in.
Right on.
Yeah. So on that note, you ready to go hang out?
I'm ready to eat.
All right. Everybody, we love y'all. We will see you on Monday with another edition of the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind. And until then, take care of each other. Smile at a stranger. Safety third. Hydrate. And you know what? Go listen to some gong, man.
Yeah.
Go smooth the sand inside your head. Because, yeah. Love y'all. Peace.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A=A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hi, this is Henry K., host of the #1 music history podcast, Rootsland. Come with me on a journey to Kingston, Jamaica, where we explore the world of reggae music and the untold stories of some of the genre's greatest legends. From the ghettos and tenement yards where the music was born, to the island's iconic recording studios. We are so excited to team up with Osiris Media, the leading storyteller in music, because as you'll hear, sometimes the story is the best song.